Okay, so this video here is about 4.2. We're going to solve quadratic equations by graphing. Quadratic equations are the functions that are just set equal to a value. When you want to solve them, you got to equal to 0. Standard form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we want to make sure that we set it equal to 0. Roots and zeros are the exact same thing. Roots are the solutions, zeros are the x-intercepts. These are the same thing. Also the answers of equations. So solving equations, one solution means you're going to have your vertex on the equation line or the x-intercept line. So here's two examples. Excuse my daughter, she's eating if you hear her. Two solutions is where you cross the x-axis in some form. And then no solution, everything is above or below. Okay, so looking at this first one, these are really determine its solution. This has no solution. This has one solution. So one solution at x equals 2. And this one here has two solutions, roughly at x equals 1/2, and here at x equals 3.75. It's an estimate, so it could be 3.5, 3.75, your choice. So the next thing we're going to talk about is just solving by graphing, and so we're going to do everything on our calculator. So solving these different equations. Doesn't matter which form you have it written in, as long as it is equal to 0. So e, we'd have to solve for 0, add 6 over to both sides, so this would be 5x squared plus 10x plus 2 equals 0, because add 6 to negative 4. This one here, I don't like working with my negative x squared, so this would be move the 9 and the x squared over. X squared plus 12x minus 9 equals 0, but it doesn't matter, you'll get the same solution either way. So now, what we're going to do is we are going to pretty much type these into our calculator. So in our calculators, we're going to go to y equals. So let me bring this down just a little bit. So the first equation, the x button is this xt theta n. Lane, you need to sit. Shh. Quiet, please. X squared plus 8x, and I'm just going to hit graph. So I can see where it crosses and everything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the axis of symmetry to help me with my left bound, right bound. I don't trace for my left bound, right bound, I just put points in. So what we're doing is we're looking at a number line. This is my x-axis. This middle value here is going to be my x equals negative b, so negative 8 divided by 2, which is x equals negative 4. And then I'm going to have a solution on this side, and I'm going to have a solution on this side. And the reason why I know I have two solutions on the x-axis is because I cross the x-axis twice. Now, my window is at zoom 10, so I can tell my window screen, so I know that this is negative 10. So I'm going to pick a left number over here. This is a right bound. This will then be my left bound, and then I'll pick a right bound. So I'm going to pick negative 10 to negative 4. Then I'm going to pick negative 4, and a number over here that looks like it doesn't cross is at like 2. So this number over here would be 2. So on my number line, I'm going to check negative 10 to negative 4 to get this answer. And I'm going to do negative 4 to 2 to get this answer. So how does that look on the calculator?
Good.
So we go second trace, and I'm going to calculate out a 0.
Okay.
So it says left bound. That's my further left bound number. I'm going to pick negative 10. Enter. Right bound. I can't go past this 0, so I'm going to pick that negative 4 of my vertex. Enter. My answer falls between my two arrows. Hit enter. And so my answer here is at negative 8, 0, which means my answer is at x equals negative 8. And then this answer here, I'm going to do the same thing again. So second calc, 0. I'm going to type in negative 4 because that's my vertex. And I'm going to type in 2. This answer falls between my two arrows. If it didn't work, I pick another 9 or just try again. Hit enter. And I see that my answer is at 0, 0. So this 0 here is 0, 0. So my other answer is x equals negative 8 and 0. And that's my two solutions. So this next one here, I have x equals negative times a negative 3 divided by 2 times 1, which gives me x equals negative 3 halves. So on my bound, I know negative 3 halves is my vertex. And so I'm going to type this equation in my calculator. Y equals x squared minus 3x minus 18. Enter. And I hit graph. So I can see I crossed twice. So I have an answer here and I have an answer here. So looking at my graph, I know I can pick negative 4 on this side, because I don't cross negative 4. This is negative 3-ish. And then over here, this is 10, 9, 8, 7. So over here I'm going to pick 7. So go second calc, 0, negative 4, enter. And you can see my line popped up, and I'm going to type in negative 3 divided by 2. It's positive. Let's try that again. That's a positive 3. It's negative times negative is a positive. So let's wait that out. Got 3 halves. Hit enter. And so this first answer I get is negative 3 comma 0. This one here, second calc, 2. So 3 divided by 2 again. And then like I said, I'm going to pick 7 for my right bound. Hit enter. And I get my other answer of 6 comma 0. So that's where my answers are. So my answer is x equals negative 3 comma 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick over here, I'm going to do number F right now, because I want you to try doing the other ones. The equations, you can write them out however you want, and that's all you're doing. But here on this one, I'm going to do that one, because I know it doesn't show up nicely on your graph. Y equals x squared plus 12x minus 9. I'm going to hit graph. So I see one line, but I don't see everything, so I'm going to hit zoom, and I'm going to go down until I find zoom fit. So I can see I have a solution, but I don't have both my solutions. So I'm going to hit zoom out again. So I'm going to hit zoom out 3. I'm going to arrow down to where it's at 0, 0. So now I can see things. Not quite sure, so I'm going to go second calc 0. And left bound, I'm going to put arrow to the left. And so I know this is at negative 16. So I'm going to type in negative 17 to get a number on the left side. And then I'm going to pick a number here. And I'm going to say negative 6. And I just guessed a number. If it didn't work, I would try again. My two arrows have my answer in between it. So I'll hit enter for guess. And it tells me that my answer is at negative 12.7, and this is, since I calculated out of 0, y is 0. So one of my answers is at negative 12.7, comma 0. So I know x equals negative 12.7. And I'm going to calculate out this other one over here. So I'm going to go second calc, excuse me, 2. I typed in negative 6, and that put me here in the middle. And then I'm going to try a number over here, so I'm going to try 5. And that got me with my answer in between, so I'm going to hit enter. And this answer here is 0.71. And it did say rounding there's hundreds, so this should be 7171, comma 0. And so my other answer is 0.71. that over here so you can see those. So that would be my two answers. That's all you're doing when you're calculating out zeros with your calculator. Otherwise, when you graph them, you have to graph them accurately and calculate out those zeros in order to graph them accurately on your calculator. If your calculator asks you for your x-intercepts, that's also how you can calculate out your x-intercepts.